Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Mike Force Podcast. Got a special guest, Joe from Longevity Farms. So I've been taking a whole bunch of supplements. I talk about health and wellness on my Patreon, and it's something that, I don't know, it's the best way I could reinforce it in my own life and help you guys out. And I talk about it as far as like, hey, what are the protocols? What are the techniques? What is the updated, newest thing? And peptides have been the newest thing. I started taking peptides with Longevity Farms, and I can't believe the benefits that I've seen, especially BPC 157, which we'll get into it. But, Joe, thanks for making the trip out here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you brought the wife. You guys are going to do a little touring here in Utah.
Yep.
Have you ever been to Utah?
Yeah, we came out once for my sister-in-law's wedding about 2 years ago. That was our first experience. Haven't experienced the cold because we're from Southern California. But it's, a whole different element, and it's beautiful out here.
Yeah, it's pretty nice today. You didn't catch the cold, but
yeah, and there's actually seasons unlike California.
Yeah, where it's sunny and 75 always.
Yep.
At least in some places. So you brought some of the stuff that you have that I'm on the protocol, especially Aegis Cocktail, creatine, and some of the peptides. Before we get into that stuff, because it's changing by the day, let's talk about where you began, where you started this journey, because you're not just a owner of a health and wellness company, you actually are a firefighter. Let's
Correct.
talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm not an entrepreneur. I never consider myself like a business owner, but it's just something that has evolved and I've turned into. So my story is I started in the fire service when I was about 14 years old. So my dad dropped me off at the Fire Explorers, and I was 14 years old, got involved, started doing everything it took to be a part of this fire service. My first call, I'm like 14, 15 years old. I go on a call, and it was a man who got his hand crushed in a machine. So we pulled it out. The firefighter paramedic had me in the back of the ambulance. He goes, all right, kid. Had me a pair of scissors, started uncutting his gloves. As I'm uncutting his glove, pieces of hand and skin and bones are falling on my lap. And the guy ended up getting airlifted out. I'm 14 years old. We keep going, running more calls, and I'm like, okay, this is it. This is a career I want. Around that time, when I was in high school, 9/11 kicked off. And during that time, it was a different time. Different generation, maybe, but everyone just had this duty to serve. So I always wanted to be a Marine. It was in me. I joined the Marine Corps right out of high school, went to Iraq. A lot of my buddies, same thing. Out of high school, joined the Marine Corps, went to Iraq. Had a lot of good friends in Battle of Fallujah. And, so I did my time in the Marine Corps, got out, and I still had this burning desire to be a fireman. So I got out of the Marine Corps in 2008, and then 2009, I started as a full-time firefighter. I started in Southern California in San Diego County, and I was there for 6 years, but I always wanted to work for LA City. Both of my parents were born in LA. LA City was the big shots, the show. They're always on the news in California. They have their own magazine. For me, this was the bigs, and my dad was LAPD, so I always looked up to the city of Los Angeles. So I put in, went through the process, I got hired, and I got my academy day for the drill tower, and I was pumped. I'm like, man, this is it. 0311 infantry, you made it. LAFD, you made it. Private pile. So for me, the LAFD is the Marine Corps of the Fire Service. We're high and tight. We train, we drill on the weekends where most firefighters or most people in the fire service we're having football Sunday, sitting in the chairs, reclining and barbecue, not us. Very tactically sound with how we operate. Every position on where you sit on that fire apparatus has an SOG, has rules and responsibilities. And that's why when we go to critical incidents or a major structure fire, everything plays out like a well-choreographed play. Everyone knows their duty and responsibility without talking. Everyone goes to work. And the mindset that we have at LAFD is very tactically sound for fighting fires. The city of Los Angeles is about 469 square miles. We have 4 million residents in the city. We have about 60,000 homeless people or unhoused Angelinos. And, if you go to any fire station within the city, we have 106 fire stations. Every rig, every night is wiped down with wax and cleaned, and everything is spotless. We have an annual inspection where we clean the undercarriage of the car, or the apparatus, In the drill tower, they tell you, you're going to take care of these rigs nicer than your own cars. You're going to take care of the fire station better than your own house. And I remember thinking, yeah, right, that's not true. No, it's 100% true. But with that, we're also running 500,000 calls a year.
Whoa.
And
How many calls would you see on an average? Is it a 24-hour rotation?
yes. So we work 24-hour shifts. If you work a day of overtime or a trade, put you on 72, 96. We could work unlimited overtime. I could work 120 hours straight
Because
up
of the demand.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 4 million residents, we only have like 2,500 firefighters. That's equivalent of that breaks down with our 106 fire station is about one fire station for every 36,000 people in the city.
Wow.
But sorry, to answer your question is how many calls do you get? It depends on the part of the city. We have some of the busiest fire stations in Los Angeles, Skid Row Fire Station 9. There was a couple nights where they've done 30 calls after midnight, which is insane. To keep that pace for 30 years, it takes a toll. It comes with a burden. And the suicide rate with first responders is now comparable to veterans. So currently, veterans, there's about 22 veterans take their lives per day. For first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, the average is there. So mental health is huge with the fire service and first responders. The problem is that we have a stigma of asking for help. And what that problem is that, when we go to work, we're working 24-hour shifts, 72 hours, and you're in a hyper-vigilant state for 24 hours, fight or flight. It's nonstop. Working for LA City, it's the busiest fire department. We do it all. We do medical. We do all fire, hazardous material calls, everything, traffic accidents. So there's days where, you show up to work, and anyone who works for LA City knows this. You'll show up to the fire station at 5:30, and there's days where you run calls all the way till midnight, and you get no sleep. You keep going until you get relieved at 6 a.m. And there's also like this point where we're so busy, you get back to the station, it's like, I got to eat. I haven't taken a shower. I need to shave. I need to use the restroom. But I got to pick one because the bell's going to go off and I'm going to get another run. So the constant compounding of calls and traumatic events that we see, it adds up. I think they say the average citizen sees anywhere between 1 to 3 traumatic events in their entire lifetime. For us, we're seeing 1 to 3 traumatic events and incidents per shift.
Oh, man.
And it's like, it compound that over a 30-year career. It's like, how do you explain that to your wife or to your family that, I just had a call where the same age of our children, I just witnessed a murder or a traumatic event where it took their life. So it adds up, it builds up, and the stigma of the fire service and first responders is something that we need to break through to get our first responders the right help with dealing with mental health. So, and it starts with exercise, taking care of your mental health first before you take care of your body. We have a slogan, with the LAFD that we train as if our life depends on it, because it does. But we also need to have the same consideration with our mental health. We need to take care of our mental health as our life depends on it, because it does. And as a result, it makes us better men and women, better fathers, better husbands. So for me, taking care of my mental health, it took some time to get to this point. But things that help is my relationship with God, my relationship with my wife. She's here. We've been married for 11 years now, and it's not easy. She's seen the worst of me, coming home, sleep deprived off a 72-hour shift where I'm at a level 10, and I'm hopped up on coffee and no sleep, and I open up the door, and the littlest thing sets me off, and now she's mad at me. What are you doing here with this attitude? You're going to have this attitude, go back to work. And firefighters know that. Fire wives know it too. It's just something that we deal with. So it's something that we have to take in perspective of taking care of ourselves, our mental health. With that, how we got into the supplements is a couple different things. So my brother and I are really big into health. My parents have been great examples of exercise and nutrition and supplements. Got into the biohacking movement back in like 2016 when Rhonda Patrick was on Joe Rogan and talking about fasting and mitochondrial health and sleep deprivation, the damages it does to us. So my brother got all these podcasts from like Joe Rogan, Dave Asbury, Ben Greenfield, Rhonda Patrick, and made an Excel spreadsheet. He's like, okay, I'm going to take all the supplements that they're recommending. So he started doing that. So then he got a Tupperware, started mixing all these powders together. So NMM, NAD, resveratrol, creatine, taurine, and was taking it. So he goes, hey, try it out. I give it to mom and dad. They love it. So I said, okay. So I tried it. I'm like, Mike, my brother's name is Mike too. Mike, this is good. And me working a 24-hour shift, I noticed a difference. My brain works better on lion's mane, on NMN, resveratrol. What if we put all these ingredients into a bag, this one right here, and we make it for our family, and no one buys it? Hey, no big deal. Mom and dad will drink it. I'm going to drink it at work. So our initial order, our MOQ, was like 2,500 units. We sold out in the first 5 weeks. And we were like, whoa.
This is the one I take.
Yes, the black one, yeah.
Yeah.
So this one has NMM, NAD, and resveratrol. So we created that for your mitochondrial health. So what's important with that is the mitochondrial health is so important because the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. The cell produces ATP. All of our energy comes from the mitochondrial health. So NAD boosts that as we age, stress, sleep deprivation, alcohol, NAD declines. So we put NMM, which is a precursor to NAD. So those two combined increase your mitochondrial health. So, so we put that in a bag and take that every morning. Helps with the mitochondrial health. Creatine is great for sleep deprivation. I take it for my brain health. There's a ton of studies that show that if you get less than 8 hours of sleep, which is most of us, by taking 10 grams of creatine, it will increase your brain and stimulate it like you got a full night's rest. So that's what we created, the Ageless Cocktail, NMM, resveratrol, NAD, high potent. I believe we're the only ones on the market right now that have the high dose of 1,000 milligrams of resveratrol, 1,000 of NMM, 520 of NAD. We just wanted to create a clean supplement for our family and for us. But one of the things that we didn't discover that we've noticed at the year and a half of us owning and operating this is that it's improving people's facial skin. And we never intended to create a beauty product, but it almost turned into a beauty product because it's reducing fine lines and wrinkles.
Inflammation in the body.
Inflammation of the body, yes.
Yeah. Getting better sleep.
Yeah, better skin complexion. So this product has evolved into like a skincare.
A beauty supplement.
Yeah, beauty supplement, which was never intended to be.
Yeah.
So now a year and a half later, we're in Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center in Southern California. We're in 5 different med spas, 14 different nutrition stores, and selling across the United States.
It's a pretty unique supplement because it's like a bougie supplement. And I'm like, but wait a minute, all the protocols that I'm being recommended to do, like Rogan sent me to, is it CPS or CPI, the stem cell retreat in Mexico, in Tijuana. He recommended it. He sponsored it. And I was very grateful for it because I got a scholarship and then he sponsored the other half and I got into it for free. And that's a insanely expensive protocol. Mm-hmm. But NAD and all these supplements, amino acids, were part of the protocol. And I felt better than I ever felt. But when I left it, I was like, well, what's my options now? Because unless I went to a wellness clinic, in downtown Salt Lake City that was doing NAD through IV, mm-hmm. I didn't have many options.
Right.
And then I started reaching out and asking people, and I can't remember the tie-in here. I don't even know how we got to this point. But one of your people contacted me and was like, hey, have you tried Longevity Farms? And I was like, oh, they do these type of supplements? And so it's kind of weird because it's new, it's emerging.
Right.
And people don't know that it's readily available, which is why I like the fact that we're on the podcast together. Because people should know that, you don't have to go to a health and wellness clinic in Mexico to get these benefits. But you guys also do peptides, right? Is this talk about peptides? Because I still can't wrap my head around it. Because when I see a peptide and it's amino acid, then I see the controversy with big pharma, and this guy that was just recently on Rogan talking about how they're headhunting the industry, trying to shut it down because of FDA regulations. What are peptides all about?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So, peptides have actually been around a lot longer than most people think. The first peptide was actually created in 1920, insulin. Insulin is the first peptide.
Oh.
So all peptides are short branched chain amino acids that basically act like messaging, like text messaging for our body. All of us naturally occur peptides in our body, but with the peptide injections, it increases it. So since the creation of insulin, there's been over about 150 peptides that have been created. And, most people now think of peptides like Ozempic, trizepatide, retatrutide just for weight loss, but it goes beyond that. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There is literally a peptide for everything. A peptide for better hair, better facial skin, better sleep, recovery, muscle growth, sexual functions that act like a Viagra, but it's all natural.
What's that one?
PT-141 and melanotan 2. Okay.
Let's cliff note this time segment.
I got you. It'll not good for sleep. It'll keep you up at night a 14-year-old boy, and and it works for men and women. That's the most amazing part.
Oh, really?
For men, yeah, it's incredible.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's literally a peptide for everything, and peptides, like you said, are just amino acids that they don't affect hormones or insulin levels. I mean, they actually improve your insulin levels, but it's not like a pharmaceutical drug where it's having all this crazy side effects. Peptides are the future of health and longevity, naturally binding to the natural amino acid receptors in our body, binding to the growth receptors in our body naturally. So peptides have been around for a long time. The United States, we are so far behind. The Russians actually furthered peptides in the 1970s. So the 1970s, Dr. Vladimir, I'm going to butcher his name, Kojevic, led the Soviet peptide research program for longevity.
I assume Olympic athletes or athletic program or?
Before. So the Soviet Union actually discovered that their soldiers that were working around nuclear power reactive plants and submarines, their age was accelerating at a rapid pace compared to other soldiers who weren't. So the Soviets came out with epithelium. Epithelium is one of our favorite peptides. Epithelium is the only peptide proven to lengthen telomeres, which means that it's like the Benjamin Button's peptide. You're reversing your age.
Really?
Yes. And now,
what's that one called?
Epithelium.
Epithelium. Mm-hmm. I wish they would give them like some easy brand names, Tesmarelin and all these.
The problem is they all sound like robots. Yeah. CJC 1259, BPC 157. So the Russians created epithelium, which is incredible because it's a longevity peptide to increase your lifespan. But Dr. Heather Smith Fernandez, sorry, I'm going to butcher her name. She has furthered the research on epithelium. And what's incredible is that she talks about how it affects the pineal gland, improves melatonin production naturally in your brain. And epithelium will actually increase better sleep, deeper sleep, increase longevity of sleep. So she goes really deep into it. She was on the Dave Asprey podcast about 5 years ago. And very interesting research on epithelium. So,
what's the regulation standard right now? Because what I'm scared of is, obviously it's similar to everything, like even Ibogaine, right? I just did Ibogaine in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
It was very intense, amazing experience. They have like 80 to 90% efficacy rates on improving and increasing, the symptoms of depression, anxiety,
right,
addiction.
Yep.
I mean, post-traumatic stress, TBI.
Wow.
And now trying to get it federally approved, impossible,
right, because
it will compete with, all the, every mental health protocol.
Exactly.
And so what do you see as what's the current status of that? Is clinics like yours, health and wellness facilities like yours that are pushing this kind of stuff, are you in danger of going under or being overregulated by FDA? Because it's not FDA regulated, is it?
Correct. So the only peptides that are actually FDA approved right now is insulin, Ozempic.
So Ozempic is a
yeah. So Ozempic is a peptide. It's
wow,
semaglutide, which is the first GLP-1.
Wow.
Which is a rabbit hole of information because I would never recommend that peptide to anyone.
So I took that peptide for a period, and it's a appetite suppressant.
Correct.
And I didn't know what it was, which is bad to say that out loud. I was just like taking this protocol. Hey, man, this protocol work. And I tried it, and I didn't eat for a week, and I never once thought about eating. And I didn't know. I was like, man, I haven't eaten in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember eating. And I lost all this weight, but it was like not the good weight.
Right.
I recognize that. And that's one of the major issues with
100%.
things like that, right?
Yes. So I would never recommend anyone to be on Ozempic, semaglutide. So semaglutide is a GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide. It was the first one that came out for weight loss. Since then, we have like the bigger brother, trizepatide, which is works off 2 agonists. So it's a GLP-1 and a GIP. Then the latest one, retatrutide, is the one that I sent you.
Yeah.
Which doesn't even compare. Won the World Series, blew all 3 out of the park. It's the best. So it's a GLP-1, it's a GIP, and it's also a glucagon. So the retatrutide, unlike Ozempic, trizepatide, actually burns fat. The other ones don't burn fat. They just slow down the digestive process, crush your appetite, lower insulin. Retatrutide actually burns fat, slows digestion down, crushes appetite, and lowers insulin. But with retatrutide, it's going to turn your metabolic machine into a metabolic death machine. It's going to go after fat. I mean, hate to say it, but you can burn fat just sitting on the couch. It's insane.
Yeah.
I got down to 7% body fat trying retatrutide in 2 months without changing my diet or my exercise.
Yeah. And you didn't burn muscle.
Didn't burn muscle. That's the key. That's what I left out. Retatrutide will maintain muscle, where Ozempic will eat muscle. It'll leave you looking like a wet dog. So
Yeah, we don't want that. It's,
no.
Yeah.
But that was another question I wanted to get to you that you asked me. Going back to, is it Ibogaine in Mexico?
Yeah, Ibogaine.
Ibogaine, sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've heard great things about it. I know it's not approved in the United States. I heard like operators, Navy SEALs that weren't getting treatment at the VA were using that treatment. First responders are using it down in Mexico.
Yep.
Heard great things. Heard it breaks depression and addiction.
Yeah.
But how was the experience?
It's a wild experience, man. It's kind of hard to describe, but the best way I've heard it described is where psilocybin might be an external experience. It shows you things that are outside of your own head, your own world, your own understanding. Ibogaine is the internal experience. And for me, so this is crazy. They base Ibogaine based on the dosage based on your weight. It comes from the bark of a plant in Central Africa. And when I went, I was 235 pounds. This is like last month. So I'm 235 naturally. And they gave me the pills, and they're like horse pills. And I like asked the guy, I'm like, so don't we have like the same, like that dude's liver is like the same as mine, but how are we going to dose based off just weight alone? He goes, oh yeah, it's based off weight. We got to do it that way. So I feel like I got a heavier dose. And I was in the experience for 15 hours.
Wow.
And you're hooked up to like a Holter monitor type thing, EKG. You have an IV in your arm, getting fluids in a drip, and you're monitored by a medical staff the entire time. Because there are
cardiovascular side effects.
There are cardiovascular side effects. And what I recognized is like it shows you, like literally shows you all of the things in your life, like snapshots, and then walks you through this experience, and you come away from it because it's a very intense. Like you got to go through all these phases of the experience, but you basically come away from it with the dissolved ego, recognizing that the trauma that you've experienced is part of your human experience, and then you're just different, man. I think what it does substantially is it down-regulates your nervous system and kind of is a hard reset button where I've been operating like you likely in a hyper-aroused state constantly, especially with the intake of stimulants on top of that, like a sleep, it all starts to add up.
Yeah, the body keeps score.
Yeah, it keeps the score for sure. And so I think what it does, it just kind of hard resets you, but it's not a miracle drug. I think the recognition that it's a hard reset and then you have to build the new base is important. And then lastly, the benefits that I went for, because I don't recognize that I have post-traumatic stress. Like I'm pretty good with everything I did, and even the moral injury components of my experience I'm good with it. I can contend with it. What I've had a hard time was the TBI, like being blown up as a breacher, as an operator for so long. The neuroplasticity and neurogenesis is profound 30, 45, 60 days post.
Wow.
And so I'm in that mode right now, which is why, even just doing these supplements, doing good habits, meditating, yoga, breathing exercises has helped me profoundly. So man, I wouldn't I would recommend it for everybody. You especially. We can talk offline about getting you in there because I think it's important, and your wife would benefit from. Well, it's actually interesting. There are couples that go down together because you could do it together.
Right.
One of my cousins, her and her husband, who was an SF guy, went together because a lot of the trauma that you've experienced, obviously being, this is a biblical component, but like being the man in the house, that energy that your wife has basically fed off of that entire experience, she's taking that trauma in.
Yeah.
So she needs the help and the treatment just as much as you do.
That's true.
But, what's interesting is like when you're talking about your firefighter experience, it's almost like this was a necessity, and it derived from a necessity to fix things that were broken in your experience and to get back to health and wellness.
Exactly.
Which is the best origin story of it,
Exactly. Because, just like the military, first responders are crushing energy drinks all day long. Nicotine, energy drink, terrible for you. Terrible for your heart, terrible for your liver.
Coffee,
kidneys.
Nicotine, I bet you is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Constantly.
It is the bloodline of the fire station, 24 hours a day.
Not meditation or yoga?
No, absolutely not. Or grounding or cold plunge or sauna, red light therapy, no. It should be.
It should be. Every firehouse should have that.
You know what? Yeah. The fire station at USC, LA City Fire Station 15, Task Force 15, there was some peer supporter group that went in for mental wellness, and they installed a chair. I haven't done it yet, but I heard about it. It's a chair that rocks you, and it vibrates, and it does something where it takes you out of that fight or flight, that hypervigilant state.
Yeah.
It brings it down.
Reduces cortisol, adrenaline.
Yeah. I haven't experienced it yet, but it makes sense because you're in that fight or flight, hypervigilant state for 24 hours, and you get home at a level 10, and your family's like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah, your endocrine system is wrecked.
Oh, it's wrecked.
It's got to be wrecked.
Adrenal glands destroyed. But, these supplements, I take them every day at work.
Has some of the guys bought into this as well? Yes. Are they taking it as well? Okay.
And it helps them. Especially, I love the Awaken. It has all of the functional mushrooms. We have organic lion's mane, high dose, 1,000 milligrams, reishi, changa, organic, and very good when I'm on this 24-hour shift and like caffeine's not doing the trick. Throw it in with my protein powder, mix it up, boom, ready to go. In the morning when I wake up, I'm doing the creatine, ageless cocktail. Just wakes my brain up naturally. And it's something that I use when coffee is not doing the trick. Actually, I use it every day regardless, whether I'm drinking caffeine or not. But
what's funny is I've abstained from caffeine. Part of the protocol for Ibogaine is leading up to it 2 weeks out, you abstain from everything. And that's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
But when you do the Ibogaine, when you come out of it, one of the most significant benefits is the reduction of the need or desire for anything. When I got home, my wife was like, hey, do you want some hot sauce? And I'm like, nah.
Really?
I'm like, she's like, oh, now you're quitting hot sauce? I'm like, I actually am not even craving it. And I'm like doing like that Joe Rogan and this guy named Andy. It's expensive, like mushroom hot sauce that's really good. And I don't crave anything that makes me sound really boring. But it's I still like kimchi. But I just don't need anything. And what I've been doing instead of caffeine or coffee, because I would drink half a gallon of coffee a day, is I've been doing the Awaken. And that, Paul Stamets has a lot of good studies on those mushrooms as anti-inflammatories, as cognitive function. It's like the best protocol.
Yes.
Outside of, the stimulation of coffee, which just wrecks you. They just did a study that was released this morning on the heavy use of caffeine and stimulants and how it's basically creating ADHD in people.
Oh, that's me. That's every firefighter too.
which is why you can't focus, can't concentrate, can't read a book, can barely listen to a podcast, which is wild.
So it's interesting you brought up Paul Stamets because this whole protocol, all the ingredients are based off basically his protocol.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So we added colostrum, which is great for gut health. We added the collagen peptides, hair, skin, and nails. We added the Ceylon cinnamon to regulate your blood glucose and insulin levels. The cocoa flavonoids is another rabbit hole of information that you would never even think of. So cocoa flavonoids actually increase stem cells naturally. There was a study done by the NIH that said that females who took cocoa flavonoids at 320 milligrams for 24 weeks saw a decrease in facial wrinkles and fine lines. There was also a recent study that Rhonda Patrick came out with and talked about how cocoflavonoids will actually decrease all risk mortality cardiovascular-wise by lowering inflammation in your heart. I believe it had to do with the C-reactive protein that lowers the inflammation from cocoflavonoids. So very
You would never think. And it's not like you can go to the store and just buy a bottle of cocoflavonoids.
Yeah.
You're not doing that.
So combine that with the functional mushrooms. A lot of great stuff for full body, for brain. The psilocybin pairs great with it. Really good for your brain, for neuroplasticity.
What's your recommendation as a protocol for I've asked you this question on text. What if somebody's new to peptides and they're scared because it's a scary process?
Correct.
One, what is the recommended entry point peptides that you should look at, maybe top 3? And then you guys are very different because I've experienced this with other peptide companies. You guys ship it, and then you have to constitute it at your house. Where a lot of companies, one, you don't know if you're just getting water. You could be getting, biostatic water?
Yes.
But when I got the stuff from other companies, even states that were close to me, it would show up and it was lukewarm at best because it was the middle of summer.
Right.
And so you guys do things differently. What's the protocol for that as well?
Yeah, so not bashing that other company, but it's showing up reconstituted to your front door, lukewarm. It's worthless. Throw it away.
Yeah.
It's bad. So I believe what sets us apart from other peptide companies is that you can go to any reputable peptide company. Number one, they're going to send you the vial by itself. There you go. Figure it out. It's on you. Number two, you got to figure out, do I need biostatic water with it? Yeah, I guess I do. Okay, I got to order that. Now what? How do I figure out dosage? How do I figure out?
Where do you put it?
Where do I put it?
Most people don't even know where to put it.
Yeah, if I put it in the fridge, can I put it on the door of my refrigerator? With us, what we have created is almost like a peptide concierge service that is customized fit for you, your goals, and your needs. So what we do is we make custom peptide protocols based off height, weight, goals, gender, and we build off of that. And then what we do for full transparency on our website is that we have the third-party testing, a certificate of analysis, the efficacy of the dose that we actually claim, not just for peptides, but also for Longevity Farms. We're all about transparency, no secrets.
And that's on your website, longevityfarms.com?
Yes.
You could see it all.
It's actually getlongevityfarms.shop, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll link it all in the description for you guys as well.
And, we'll put a discount code, too, for your followers and listeners. But, so, we want clean supplements. The peptides that the peptides that we offer, all of us take. My family, my parents who are 70 years old, my brother, my wife.
You guys look very good. You guys are a beautiful couple.
I appreciate it. Not bad for going on 61 years old either.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually 41. But, so we wanted full transparency. So both Longevity Farms and Rejuvenate Peptides have the third-party testing, certificate of analysis, the efficacy on the website for every product. We build custom peptide protocols for our customers.
Is that a consultation or how does that work?
Yeah, it's like a real quick consultation, either via phone call, text, email, whatever's easier for the person. But one thing that is different with us is that we're actually nurturing that relationship with the customer. Instead of just saying, here's your vial, figure it out. No, I want to see success. I'm a first responder. I love helping people. I get no greater joy than someone coming back to me saying, man, I lost 20 pounds. I feel amazing. I can keep up with my kids now. My wife loves the way I look. These are things that we're seeing from people. We're seeing real results, changing lives. It's incredible. So, yes, we ship the peptide in the powder form and the water, the biostatic water, separately to preserve the integrity of the peptide.
Because it needs to be refrigerated.
Yes. Once you add the water, it must be refrigerated.
Yeah.
So,
and then what would you say are the top peptides? Because I've had a run of the peptides. I did it with Beyond Wellness, and they're great. They sent me a whole bunch of different things to try out the gate because I've had massive issues with my left elbow, my back. BPC 157 was very profound. What other ones stand out? Top sellers are the ones that you recommend people look at?
Yeah, so, when it comes to peptides, I think that the top ones is people in pain, like yourself. BPC 157, also blended or stacked with TB 500. Redditutide is hot right now. It's very popular.
That's the one you sent me, right?
Yes. So Redditutide is...
Let's talk about that, because I
Absolutely.
need the guidance on the protocol for
You
that.
got it.
So what does that do, and then what's the protocol for that?
So Redditutide is going to turn your body into a metabolic death machine. So it's going to burn fat. It's going to decrease your appetite. It's going to lower your insulin. It's incredible. So it's works off of 3 agonists. It's a GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide, is a GIP, and glucagon. With those 3 combined, you're going to burn fat. You're going to preserve muscle, decrease appetite. It's amazing. I get my blood work done every 3 months. My insulin on a graph, you could see it through the Quest app. That's where I get my blood work, through Quest. From when I started Reddit to where I'm at now has decreased. My A1C has gone down, which is fantastic because I'm 100% Mexican. Most Mexicans have diabetes. Both my grandparents died of diabetes. My mom was pre-diabetic. I put my mom on Redditutide. Her A1C went from 6.2, 6.3 down to 5.6, which is awesome.
Non-diabetic, right?
Non-diabetic, correct.
Wow.
So Redditutide is awesome. We recommend everyone starting out with 10 units. We have our protocol in place. When you purchase from us, you get a protocol that it walks you through the steps, step by step, and what to experience, what to expect.
That's so awesome. I'm going to get on that today. Can I do that during a fast? I'm in a fast. I'm 24 hours into a fast, a 72-hour fast. I could take that during a fast, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You're about to turn that 72-hour fast into a 96-hour fast there.
Well, I just thought about it. I invited you guys to breakfast tomorrow, and I won't even be able to eat. I'll drink tea and just watch you guys crush it. But if I have that Redditutide, it just suppresses the appetite,
Yes.
so I won't be lingering in a 48-hour window where I'm starving and thinking about food, right?
Correct. So I actually brought you some gifts. I brought you Redditutide today.
Yes.
I brought you NAD. I brought you thymosin alpha, which is the never get sick peptide.
Really?
And I got to see what else I brought. Oh, glutathione. So
Thank you so much. Last question I want to ask you about, what's the future of Longevity Farms? Because I know you're like me. We talk business, man, and I had a hard reset in my business life as an entrepreneur, but I learned a lot of lessons. You guys are learning those in real time. Your brother's an entrepreneur. But what's the ultimate goal of Longevity Farms, and what's next for you guys?
Yeah, the goal of Longevity Farms has been the same since we started about a year and a half ago, and that was to create a clean supplement for our family and for us that we could use. We have some supplements that we're coming out with later this year that's going to be the world's first.
I know a little bit of inside baseball. I won't say a word.
Yeah, thank you. Has a lot of the buzzwords that we talked about today, and we're really looking forward to that. We're really excited. I'm excited to take it for myself and take it when I'm at work. But the goal of Longevity Farms is that we put God first in everything that we do. On the back of our supplements, we have a Bible verse at the bottom, and it's Jeremiah 17:14. It's, "O Lord, heal me, and I will be healed. O Lord, save me, and I will be saved." So we put God first. It's family, it's country, and it's serving people. The goal isn't to be rich or to make a ton of money. The goal is to serve people and help people create a clean supplement that they can take every day.
So awesome. Perfect way to end a podcast. All that wealth and all that money and all those things will come, but through God. I appreciate that as well, because that's amazing, man, that you guys put God first. That's super important to me as well. Thank you to you, Joe. Appreciate you, and thank you for your service to your community.
Thank you,
and
Mike.
thanks to your beautiful wife for coming out as well. See you guys in the morning for some good breakfast.
Awesome.
Make sure you guys check out Longevity Farms and Joe. I'll link up all this stuff down below. We'll probably do a Mike Force discount code as well that we'll just put down in the description. If you got any questions as well, he's readily available on the website via the contact link. I appreciate you guys. Till next time. Peace.